Welcome back again to part 4 of our Ace Frehley CDs overview here at My Media Museum. And I try not to overlap releases from one episode to the next, but I ended up having to do it in the last episode, and we're doing it again here. Where in the last episode we were looking at Ace Frehley's Origins Volume 1 from 2016, and I did miss pulling the disc out and showing you what was behind it. So we'll go back and correct that slight oversight. And then I want to correct the fact that I realized I didn't do it on the Greatest Hits Live either. So really not missing much there. But just for the curious, I wanted to make sure I showed you that real quick. So, because it's a little difficult sometimes getting these takes right. I don't do any editing. It's real as you get, you know, and I'm human. I make mistakes, but I try to correct them as I come across them. Now this one, I don't know why my copy had 2 stickers. I never did get brave enough to try and peel it off to see what the sticker underneath said, but clearly they replaced the sticker before shipping it out, and you can't really see through the back either, so don't really know what changed from that sticker to that sticker, but this is original the way I got it. My copy came from Best Buy at the time of release, and we're going to have some fun looking over the booklet because it's a big huge poster, so it might be a little bit difficult for us to capture, but we get some really great images like that shot right there. That's a great shot of him. And opening it up, we're going to go over the credits for the songs here briefly, real quick again. I know I read them off in the last episode, but there were a couple of things that got missed. You know, I covered all that real good. It was free. It says it right here on the front sticker that it's free, Fire and Water, Not Bad Company. At least I knew it was Paul Rogers, so I got that part correct. And on Parasite, it was the Kiss song written by Ace. And he's finally singing his own song here. But he's got John 5 as a special guest on guitar, and that's pretty cool. And on Emerald, the Thin Lizzy song, he had Slash as a special guest on that one. John 5 was also the special guest on the Jimi Hendrix song. And Fire and Water is sung by Paul Stanley, not by Ace. And this is a special case where, you know, it's not such a tragedy that Ace didn't sing it, because it's really cool to hear Paul, you know, join up with Ace on a solo release. And over here again, we got Wild Thing with special guest Lita Ford. And she pops up again on some of his other releases, but that was I meant to mention when we were looking at Anomaly, the track 10 Sister was written for Lita Ford. That was dedicated to her. They're really great friends, and I think that's really super cool. So on Cold Gin, he had special guest Mike McCready, and Rock and Roll Hell was written by Gene Simmons and was basically a new song for Ace to have anything to do with, because that was recorded by Kiss after Ace had left the band. So not really remembering exactly what album that was on. I'd have to go back and look it up. But it is definitely a Kiss song that was recorded and released by Kiss. So he's doing a cover of a song done by the band that he got famous with after leaving. It's a kind of interesting. Like the UFO there. Like I said, it's kind of hard to do posters under the zoom. Looks like somebody had a statue of Ace and he posed next to it. And that's basically the inside poster that we've got here. There's a nice guitar hanging on the wall there, and a piano. So no idea where this was taken or anything about that, but that pretty much wraps up Origin number 1 for us. And after that, we got Spaceman. which again, I was just really thrilled with Ace's output in these later years of the 2020 roundabout, because this was 2018 here. So from 2014 to current, he's been doing a lot, and it's been really great to see what he's been giving us, or hear, I should say, what he's been giving us. Also available, it's got these interesting credits here. Now, that Anomaly we just looked at, Space Invader and Origins Volume 1, and then we've got a cover of Bronx Boy, which was a single. So that's kind of cool for him to have included that in there. And let's get the booklet out of here if I can. Struggling with it. I don't want to damage my stuff, you know. And I explained in the last episode how I've been keeping seals on things. So once you get to a certain point, all of my CDs that had seals on them when I bought them still have the seals on them now. So looking at the, we'll go ahead and run over the list before we look at the booklet. Without You, I'm Nothing. Rocking with the Boys. Your Wish is My Command, which I believe was written by Gene Simmons. Bronx Boy, which was the single off of this, and that we just saw the cover for the single for on the inside there. Pursuit of Rock and Roll, I Want to Go Back, which is a remake, I believe, of Eddie Money's song. Mission to Mars, Off My Back, and Quantum Flux, yes, another instrumental, ending his release, which he has been quite successful with doing. There's the sticker that was originally on it, and it's another fold-out poster, so we're going to have a lot of fun trying to capture that, just like we did on the last one. But here's the front cover in all its glory, out of the case, so that, you know, we got minimal glare. I know I get a little bit of glare on the fold there. I've tried doing the lights all kinds of different ways, and no matter what, I either don't get enough light in there, or I just get a little bit of glare. So it's kind of like filming through a plastic case. You just get some glare that's almost impossible to eliminate. You know, I'm not a professional. I'm just an old guy with a GoPro having some fun. Trying to do a YouTube channel, and you know, I was encouraged for years by friends and co-workers to do this, and so I finally got around to doing it, and I'm doing it the best I can with what I have. And like I said, I'm one of those people that knows a lot about a little, but not everything. I'm not an expert at anything. So holding out the big huge poster here. It might be a little hard to read, but you've got the credits there for the individual songs. Your Wish is My Command, credited Frehley and Simmons, so Gene and him together wrote that, but they did Without You I'm Nothing is also credited to Simmons, and I didn't remember that. I remembered this one being Simmons, but I didn't remember that one. Interesting. And looking at the I Want to Go Back, it's not even credited to Eddie Money, so Eddie Money didn't write it, but he's the one that recorded it and made that song famous. And pretty much the rest of it's Mr. Frehley. Mission to Mars has a lot of credits, but he's the first one, so at least he was involved with writing the song. Then it looks like we've got some cover outtake shots here. Nice to see. And then just a empty chair. So that's a little odd choice to include, especially for it taking up so much of the poster. And then the poster itself is just a reproduction of the cover in a lot larger size. So very cool, though. Very cool. Great release. A lot of good songs on that one. And really, really glad to have that in the collection. So we've still got Origins 2 and Volts to look over. And I think that'll make us another episode. I do want to go ahead and go back to the beginning here, since I've got a couple minutes but not enough time to finish out the series. So we'll go back to the beginning here, and we're looking at his solo album. And the reason why I wanted to do this real quickly again is to go over New York Groove, the details on New York Groove. Now that was, I said in the first episode of this series that it was a song from the 60s, or I thought it was the 60s. Russ Ballard wrote it. I was actually off base on that, and I knew that Ace was doing a remake of it, but it was first recorded by a band called Hello out of the UK in 1975, so only a brief 3 years before Eddie Kramer talked Ace into doing a re-recording of it, which was probably great for all of us because that led to him doing a lot of cover songs. He had his most success, and it was the highest-selling single of the 4 singles. Of the solo albums, Gene sold the most, Ace sold second, but of the singles, Ace was number 1. So that's an interesting fact that I did not recall either. It hit number 13 on the charts, which was the highest charting position as well for all of these solo singles from those Kiss solo albums back in 1978. And I thought it was funny here how he talks about when he used to drive a taxi cab in Midtown. So we didn't talk about that when I showed that originally either. So I hope you enjoyed that, and come on back for the final installment where we'll cover Origins Volume 2 and his most recent release. Thanks, have a great day, and hope to see you again.